Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Blade Show. I almost said Blade Show. Welcome back to Blade Bias. Today, I'll be talking about my purchase at Blade Show. This would be what I consider my Balisong Blade Show purchase of 2025. The Squidtrainer V4. This was a blemish that I got from Squid at Blade Show from their blemish bin. Had some scuffs in the anodization from people dropping it, it seemed like, and they put a pretty good discount on it. Still probably more than I could get it for on the secondhand market, but it's a Blade Show purchase. I don't really care. And it's one that comes from me regretting a sale that I made a few years ago at this point. Not regretting so much as, man, I wish I still had that thing. Which I guess is kind of regretting, but like I don't regret it. If I had the chance to buy it back, I don't know if I would. Especially since the guy that has it has like a whole Squidtrainer collection. And he sends me pictures of it sometimes, and I love that. But I wanted a Squidtrainer again, and that really started back in the, if you remember the Madco video, the Madco is heavy and sluggish. I was at a meetup with Banks, and Banks had a Squidtrainer at the time, and it was actually the Balisong that he let me use to learn how to double scissor. And ever since then, I was like, man, I want another Squidtrainer, because there's just, of course, I'm failing all my double scissors on camera, as usually happens. There we go. Ever since then, I wanted another Squidtrainer. I kind of wanted to wait until I could maybe recreate the dual handle one that I had before, but I just never got around to pulling the trigger. And at Blade Show, finding this thing in the bargain bin, I decided now was finally the time to pull that trigger, and I'm so happy that I did. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the Squidtrainer because of how blade biased and weird it can flip sometimes, and I do agree. It slips off in Chaplin sometimes. It has some weird momentum. It ultimately flips like a very unstandard Squid product. It's probably the least handle bias thing in their entire lineup. But I kind of love it for that. The weird balance is just really charming to me, and it makes it really fun to flip in some scenarios that other Balisongs wouldn't be as fun to flip in. Specifically, double scissors for me, and cats, which I still can't do reliably. But it's just fun because of how loose the Chaplin is, you can kind of play with that a little bit to get some fun launches off of Chaplins when you're trying to cat, and I just really enjoy that. I do agree with people that the older Squidtrainers flip a little better, because the older Squidtrainers have a bit more handle bias to them. And getting to try, especially Lucas's V1 that I tried last year, and then this year I think I tried Will's V2, there's definitely a little more handle bias, and I definitely like that balance a little bit more, which is crazy for me to say, but I like how it flips a little better. The thing that the V4 does, besides bushings, because I had a V2.5 modded to have bushings in it, it's basically the same experience that this is the comfort. Everything on the V4 is chamfered, or it's rounded, or it has jimping, and it just feels way, way better. The old 2 that I had, it was either a 2 or a 2.5, I can't remember. It was pinchy, it was heavy, it's kind of uncomfortable. It was actually very uncomfortable to flip at a lot of different points. I think it's ultimately the reason why I sold it, because it just wasn't very comfortable compared to a lot of the other Balisongs that I was getting at the time. And I sold it to get a Prisma, and the Prisma has stayed in my collection rock solid since then. So, like I said, I don't regret that I sold it. I just kind of have this longing to have another Squidtrainer, and now I do. Coincidentally, this is the same one that Brandon has in his collection of the Squidtrainer V4. He's got a teal one, so like father, like son, if you know, you know. That probably won't be explainable until the podcast comes out. I know I keep saying that, but we genuinely just talked about so much in that podcast. But the Squidtrainer, let's talk about it just kind of in a vacuum. It's weird. It's a little bit heavy. It is the least Squid Balisong in their lineup. So if you're flipping a Mako and you say, I really like this, I want an upgrade, don't get a Squidtrainer. You're better off getting something like a Kraken Trainer that flips a little bit more like that Mako. But I can't deny that it's probably my favorite thing in their lineup because it doesn't flip like a Squid product. It doesn't have that standard normal amount of handle bias. If anything, it's almost a little bit blade biased. Chaplins don't stick very well. Zero Gs are a little bit more difficult than they would be otherwise. But the reason that I'm praising this for that when I would normally not like other ballad songs for the exact same reasons is because it still flips well despite all of that. It's not like I guess, the chaplains. I criticize the vault for not having good chaplains. This, I can still do a fast chaplain on. It's just a little bit more unstable than it normally would be. And that is offset by the fact that it fans, choker fans, palm fans, whatever you want to say so well, and it even rollovers well. Usually ballad songs at chaplain don't roll over or don't, oh my gosh, my brain is fried. Usually ballad songs that don't chaplain well don't roll over well, and that's just because of how weight distribution works. But this thing does roll over well, and I mean, there is a little bit of weirdness compared to something a little bit more handle biased like the Orion, but it's not so bad that I don't enjoy flipping it. It just all comes together to make a ballad song that is weirdly charismatic, despite it almost being objectively not great in a lot of tricks. And that's why I decided to purchase one, because it's fun. It is a high quality ballad song that maybe doesn't have the most perfect balance in the world, but has one that's good enough to remain fun. And it doubles scissors really well, which is kind of the main reason. But it really just comes down to every time I picked up a Squidtrainer, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I wanted to buy one. And I don't get that a lot anymore in this hobby. I don't get a ton of ballad songs that I pick up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go find one of these right now. Because usually I don't go find one right now. And it was the same with the Squidtrainer. I didn't go out and buy one immediately after. Where it remains to be seen is how long this will stay in my collection, because it's the sort of balance that I think is going to lose its luster on me eventually as I switch to flipping other things in my collection, which in my opinion do just flip better. But for right now, it still has its novelty, it still is fun, and I still enjoy it. So it will stay here until it loses that. But yeah, Squidtrainer V4. I like it. Do I recommend it? Not totally, because of its weird balance, but if it's something that it sounds like you're into, go for it. I know Cream Soda has one. If you know Cream Soda, he does really weird fans and is probably one of my favorite people to hear ballad song opinions from, because his and my tastes and preferences overlap really, really well. Generally, when he likes a ballad song, I like a ballad song. So he has one. It's modded with a tungsten ball in the hole right here. He hot glued it in there, and then he's got a blade spine insert. Makes chaplains a little bit better somehow, and just makes the thing flip a little bit better. But yeah, that's probably a mod that I'll do eventually. But yeah, the Squidtrainer, do I recommend it? Not entirely, especially if you're someone who prefers more handle bias. But I just think it's fun. I think it's Squid's best ballad song, despite not being Squid's best ballad song. It's really weird. It's a ballad song that I shouldn't love, but I do. So there it is. Blade Show Squidtrainer. Thanks to Squid for selling it to me. Appreciate it. Even though that's literally what you were at the show to do. But all right. See you guys later. Peace.